Can't take the heat in Louisville? Try having it made in the shade. These people have the right idea for the DK Dirt Circuit going into round 3. Best jumps so far, Todd Wakowiak with a 94.3. Stricker and Nyquist both with jumps over 90 so far. Going to be very tough for some of the lower-ranked riders to make their way up to the top of the standings so far. One of those riders is Dan Piesheimer. If he comes up with big jumps in number 3 and 4, anything can happen. Lays out over the first one, and the turn-down transfer over the second one. Pretty impressive for a rookie like Dan Piesheimer, who gets a round of applause from the faithful here in Louisville. Here's Piesheimer. The no-footer and then the big turn down with a transfer thrown in, a 92.3, easily Piesheimer's best jump of the day. Now Ruelle Erickson. These fans love this guy because he goes huge and he goes nuts on almost every jump, and this is no different. A little bit of a different camera angle. That's because he's way off the track. He's going to try and jump the 33-foot gap in between the first and second set. He makes it over, but his bike does not, and the crowd loves it anyway. Just glad that he's okay. I know you would have wanted to get your bike over too, but at least you made it over.
Yeah, dude, that was a big one, dude. I'm going as fast as I can. I think I got one more try. And I like it. I'm going to try it again.
Hey, man, if it feels good, do it, and that's what Ruelle Erickson lives by, riding for hyper bikes. And let's take another look at this. There's the ramp that everyone else is using. Ruelle goes way off course, and he gets huge air and has to bail at the very last second, landing on his rear, but still scores an 80 from the judges to show their appreciation for the guts. Now it's time to see Josh Stricker for the second time in this comp. Coming in, he's 12th overall in the DK standings. Had a pretty decent first jump, scored over 90. Let's see if he can duplicate that. He lays out over the first one, and 360X up over the second. From what we've seen, that's not too complicated. Josh Stricker battling injuries, as we mentioned. He's got a knee problem, he's got a shoulder problem, so that being said, still very admirable that he's out here at all. An 87.3 for Josh Stricker from Trek Bikes. We've seen his first 2 jumps of the day. We got to take a look at the third. Ryan Nyquist trying to defend his Grand National title. He won it here last year in Louisville as well, and right now he's on pace to do the same in 99. 360 over the first, and the double bar spin one hand over the second. It just keeps getting better for Ryan Nyquist, who is really putting the heat on the rest of the competition. 360 over the first, getting big air and landing it perfectly. And then watch the double bar spin with a little flare at the end. The right hand goes way up in the air. A 93 for Ryan Nyquist. As far as I'm concerned, the pressure's off now because you have 3 solid ones in you. What's coming up next jump?
I'm just going to keep it consistent. Maybe a little bit bigger, but if I can do a better run than what I did before, that's awesome. Just adds to the points. So.
You look dialed in. You feel that way?
I feel a little better. Not really too nervous. So, the overall title, I'm not really in contention for it, so it kind of leaves the pressure a little bit.
Ryan Nyquist, undisputed, the best rider out here so far. But remember, there's still 2 jumps left, and Chris Doyle has a good one in the can. Now he's got to go for another big one and score big in jump number 3. X up transfer over the first, and the 360 X up one hand over the second. So another combo for Chris Doyle, very technical, very smooth. Let's see what the judges think about it. Here's a replay. Again, making that X up look so good. He's the tallest kid out here, and he's got long arms, so it looks even better when he does it. And then the 360 with the X up one hand, another score over 90, 90.3 for Doyle. Huffy Pepsi One's Corey Nasty Nastasio coming into the final event of the season with the overall lead. Earlier, I asked Nasty about the keys to his late season success in this edition of Airtime.
Well, my Huffy TL88's been working real well for me, and my crew, Lou and Rich Vidiello. So it's real important to have a good crew and a good bike all year round. And just training a lot, ride every day, go to the contest, just relax and really not worried about winning, and just ride like I usually do every day. And it works out better like that in the long run, so I'm psyched.
You were telling me before that you get to spend a lot of time at home. That home's in California. You're originally from Florida. How do you get so much downtime if you're riding so much?
Well, it's too hot to ride in the daytime, so I kind of ride at night, and not at night, at like 6 to 9 at night, you know, and then just kind of stressed out about life a little bit, and then just ride, take all my aggression out on that, and, you know, it all pays off in the long run, you know. It's awesome.
Nasty, the crowds have been great all year also, and you're one of the real fan favorites. Do you feed off that when you're jumping? Do you hear the crowd cheering for you?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like when the crowd gets into it, it motivates me, and I don't want to let them down, you know, and they're all there waiting for me to do like a big trick, mostly a backflip or whatever, but it's awesome. When I hear them get all into it, it makes me more pumped and more go for it than just, you know, lame crowd just sitting around and not really watching that into it. It makes me kind of not have no motivation, but when they're into it, it makes me psyched, and I like to go big for them. Make them get loud, you know, instead of just sitting there, you know, twiddling their thumbs. I'd rather see them jumping out of their seats all excited and getting crazy. Makes me crazy, so it's awesome.
Who better to talk about airtime than Corey Nastasio? He gets as big an air as any rider on the DK Tour. Let's get our first look at Corey in jump number 3. Lays out on the first, transfers, and then the big Indian air that he's made a specialty of. Loves doing the backflip, also loves the Indian air, and he pulled it out in jump number 3. Transferring from left to right, and then the Indian air over the second set. Corey just barely missing a 90 score. He gets an 89.7. That's it for round 3. The fourth and final jumps coming up on the DK Dirt Circuit.